Yo, what's up everyone? I hope you're doing well. This is going to be my ranking of all the Last of Us episodes on HBO Max. I'm filming this right after episode 9 came out, so let's get right to it. Let me just preface by saying all these episodes are at least good or better, but I feel like a lot of them are more amazing than good. But let's start off. Last place, I got episode 6. This is basically the episode where Joel and Ellie go back to Tommy, find the whole community of what's going on. They have the drama between Tommy, Ellie, and it's basically, I like the opening of this episode a lot, the scenery, the winter and all that, but I feel like it was just a little bit of a too much of a detour in my opinion. This could have been like half an episode in one episode. So I did not enjoy this episode as much as the others, but it's a good episode, but it's gonna be at the bottom of my list. Next up, I got number 7, Left Behind. This is the one with Riley and Ellie. This is basically, there's just single episode, basically the DLC from the game. I enjoyed this episode a lot more than episode 6, but still not great. I think it's very good though. There's a lot that happens here, and basically explaining Ellie's how her cure works and all that. She gets bit, Riley gets bit. Only one of them survived. I love the whole mall sequence, but kind of the first 15 minutes I didn't really care about too much. But when they got to the mall, I was enjoying it a lot because the sets there were awesome. The score, the sound was awesome. And I feel like it's just a very good episode. Not great, but very good. So that's where episode 7 sits for me. Next up, I got episode 4 called Please Hold My Hand, where this is the introduction to Henry and Sam. They did excellent in this episode. I love their inclusion in this. But the only thing that held this back for me was it was a little slow. The first half was a little slow, but that second half was just great in my opinion. I think this episode, it gets the great tier and we just start going better from this. But Henry and Sam in this episode were just the MVPs. Joel and Ellie had the basically opening of them basically driving the car, the Raiders trying to find them this whole episode. This is the episode before we get the bloater, so that's awesome. So that's where episode 4 stands for me. Next up, I got episode 2 titled Infected. This is my favorite opening of the show, where they're basically talking about how the infected happen and what they have to do. Basically nuke everywhere to basically get all the damage out. This is the episode where we lost Tess. She died to the infected. That whole scene was just awesome. I love them exploring all the cities, the tilted buildings. This episode was just very awesome in my opinion. A great lead up after this first episode. I love this episode a lot, but it's not amazing, but I think this is really high on the great tier. Tess was just amazing in this, but it's a very good episode. Let's get to the next one. Next up, I got episode 9, the finale, Look for the Light. This is a great episode in my opinion. A lot happened, but I feel like it was a little rushed. Like the hospital scene was a little rushed in my opinion, but I did like how they basically captured all of what the game was, and I liked the introduction with Ashley Johnson playing Ellie's mother Anna. I love that part, but as I said, back half was a little rushed, but ultimately a great episode and great finale to a fantastic show. Next up, I got episode 1, When You're Lost in the Darkness. This is one of the greatest pilots I've seen on a show like of all time, and HBO. It's just a great introduction to our story, and we had a great opening in this also, and then we had all the scenes with Tommy, Sarah, and Joel. The actress who played Sarah was just amazing. All of that opening basically captured what made the game's opening so magical, and the back half was just great, also explaining new stuff. We got to meet Tess in that back half. We got to meet Ellie in the last 10 minutes. And the whole closing scene was just brilliant in my opinion. I really did love this episode. As I said, one of the greatest pilots in my opinion. Next up, I got episode 3 called Long, Long Time. This was my favorite episode for a long while. But this episode basically told the story of Bill and Frank. Bill is played by Nick Offerman and Frank is played by Murray Bartlett. They were just so outstanding in this episode. This is acting I have not seen from them, and they just did so well. Such a great way to tell a love story, and we got to expand on what we never saw in the game between them, because they were mentioned about in the game, their love story, but this is just such a new love story. And I loved the Arrival song was actually in this episode. That was amazing. It's such a powerful episode, but also so sad. Tore me apart, but overall just an amazing episode. These top 3 episodes are just so amazing. Second best episode is episode 8, titled When We Are in Need. This is our introduction to David, all the winter stuff, which was my favorite parts of the game. And I feel like this episode was very magical in my opinion, but it was also very dark because the episode was dark. But how they captured everything from the game was magical, and Joel's rage trying to find Ellie was awesome. Everything with Ellie and David was just awesome because David is a maniac and Ellie just fought him off. The last 10 minutes are just so tense in my opinion. This is a lot of people's favorite episode, but this is my second favorite episode. But my favorite episode is going to be episode 5 called Endure and Survive. This episode had everything, had action, had emotion, had basically plot, world building. This is when Henry and Sam actually died. This hit me harder than episode 3, which is a kind of an unpopular opinion, but man, that's such a hard-hitting scene in the game. But I feel like it just works so much better in the show because it hit me so much harder, man. It was so heavy on me when I watched it. But we actually had the bloater in this episode too. Oh my gosh, the action scenes with the bloater and all the infected crawling at the hole. This is the episode that I went back to the most just to watch those actually just those simple scenes of how they did it. The VFX, prosthetics of it were just awesome. Everyone in this episode shined, but that's my number 1. Let me know your ranking down below, but I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.